I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go to my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. And I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be. It's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
And I don't know if you know the reason that he did the workout at 4 a.m., but the reason Kobe does that, he understands that even the most aggressive players in the NBA, they're going to get in 2 workouts a day during the off season. First one is usually around 9 or 10 a.m., and then they'll take a lunch break, and then they'll come back at 3 or 4. So his mindset was, if everyone else in the league is going to be doing 2 workouts a day, I'm going to do 3, because I'm going to do 1 more than they're doing. And the only way I can squeeze that in is if I get up and do it at 4. So when he's coming home from his first workout, his competition is just waking up to go in for their first workout. So then he's doing his second workout while they're doing their first. And then it's the compounding interest effect of, if I do this every single day in the off season for not just years, but in his case, decades, he said, no one will ever catch me. Because every time I wake up, I'm going to do 1 more than you're doing. You'll never catch me. And I think that's part of what gave him that, that Mamba mentality.
If your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. So if you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2, you have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8, right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right? Now imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4, you go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? You relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up.
Be Kobe for whatever the job is. If you don't know the whole story about Kobe, he did 3 practices a day while everyone else did 1 or 2 because he wanted to get ahead. And in the beginning, he was worse than them. And then he got as good as them. And then he became better than them. And he kept doing 3 practices a day until eventually no one could catch up. Because if they were doing 3 practices a day, they would just keep up with his rate of progress. But he got ahead. And so the guy who's number 1 at whatever that business is probably works better than you, and he works longer than you. And so you can't just match him to get ahead, because he'll always be ahead. You gotta match his current effort and then do your I'm gonna get ahead of you effort. Like when he clocks out is when your work clocks in.
And I think he said something along the lines of he waited 10 years before he really started talking about the fact that's what he was doing.
Because he had a head start that no one could catch at that point.
So it's like, imagine 10 years. And I always love saying everything you need is already in you.
Absolutely.
And so
Great
it makes
point.
Hearing that makes me think to myself, how many people watching right now, you already know what you need to do.
Yes.
But you're choosing to not do it.